Hey everybody. Okay, so we're going to, I literally have a fly right all over me. All right, we're going to do this today. You're going to have all kinds of guests on, including the fly that's in my office today. All right, so we are going to continue our veteran-owned business campaign today, and I'm super excited because we get to do this with not only a husband and wife team, but a woman who outranks her husband. Again, why Becky isn't doing this interview, I'm not really quite sure. But those of you know that Becky also outranks her husband as well. So
Well, that's
thank
always
you.
the case.
That's, you know what? That's right. Not just military service. So I'm so excited. This lovely couple who's going to talk to us today are the owners of Fast Signs in North Canton, and a veteran owned business that we hope that you choose to patronize. So welcome to our series.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I just want to have one clarification. So it's Fast Signs in Central Canton.
Oh,
There is one in North Canton, and he is also a veteran. So feel free to patronize him as well. Yeah.
I love this. As I love this, all the things. All right. So I'm going to have you guys introduce yourselves to our group and tell us a little bit about your company.
Sure. Yeah. So Fast Signs is a franchise. There's over 700 in the world. We own one. So we own the one in Central Kansas. So they're individually owned and operated. And so it is truly a small business run by my wife and I. And what we provide, obviously, in the name is signs, but there's a lot more to it. So it's anything graphics related, visual communication. We work with a lot of hospitals, schools, lots of other manufacturing businesses. Do a lot of car wraps, a ton of car wraps.
I love this.
But yeah, I mean, our motto is make your statement. So really, that's what our business is about: is what are you trying to communicate, and we can help you do that through visual effects.
Yeah, and I think Patrick forgot to introduce ourselves.
Latasha, I love you already.
He's Patrick Daugherty, and I'm Latasha Daugherty. We're retirees. I retired from the Army, and he retired from the Air Force. So we both served 20 plus years in the military.
For your service. We're so excited to have you guys here. And I think it's so refreshing to me to get to highlight those of you who have come out of the military and have chosen to go into business ownership, because you guys spent so much time serving our country, but now we as a community get to help give back to all of you. And so thank you for your service. I think it's great. What does it mean to specifically be a veteran owned business to both of you? What does that mean to you?
Well, after years of service, we still want to serve. So we serve as a small business, giving people jobs, jobs that they can feel good about, jobs that they have enough money to make a living wage and to be a part of the community. So primarily it's just giving us the opportunity to be a part of the community and provide jobs for people who need them.
And also our clients, obviously, I mean, we have a commitment to them. And one thing that you'll find with veteran-owned businesses are, we're committed to success of our clients and like she said, our employees. So it is really about others, and less about ourselves.
I was just on a call a little bit ago in a group that I'm in, and it's so unique. I think today, more unique than gets highlighted for people who still serve forward, in any capacity. And I love highlighting it because if we had more of it, right, we would live in such a different place. So kudos to both of you. All right, so we asked to do this series specifically about Wreaths Across America. So I want to ask you a little bit about Wreaths Across America, or really just kind of any being on a cemetery that has been decorated for, whether it be Wreaths Across America or Memorial Day, when you step onto a national cemetery and it's been laid with wreaths or laid with flags. What does it mean to you guys as veterans to step onto a national cemetery, maybe not even Ohio Western, but any cemetery, and you get to see it? For me, it kind of takes my breath away, and I'm not even a veteran. My dad is interned there, but what does that mean to you guys?
So we lived in DC before we moved to Ohio. I actually worked with the unit who does the Arlington Cemetery, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, that does all the funerals inside Arlington Cemetery. So, I mean, it's extremely important because no soldier left behind, no family left behind. So what we do is we try to always honor them with flags, with wreath ceremonies all the time. So it's just important, and not just in the U.S., but also in overseas, in Europe, Normandy. We always have wreath ceremonies and just honoring those who served and sacrificed everything for their country.
Yeah. And, I think the symbol of the wreath itself really like tells a huge tale there, right? So the evergreen that it's made out of is just, life sustaining beyond death, and the circle, kind of like a wedding ring, is just eternal, eternal honoring and remembering. And I think it's a great symbol to put it on in front of any tombstone of a veteran who has passed, whether they passed in service to the country during wartime or even after the fact. But no sacrifice was too small, and no sacrifice was too big. I would say, well, some may debate that, but yeah, it really is about honoring their service, honoring what they have done, remembering the sacrifices they made for themselves, their family, their careers, their families' careers, and their children, and then inspiring the future, inspiring those who have not yet signed up or raised their hand to say, you know what, this is something that means something. This is bigger than myself, and helping to inspire folks. A wreath can actually do that type of inspiration.
And it's very moving. If you haven't been to a ceremony before, the Tomb Unknown Soldier is extremely moving. I mean, even, smaller ceremonies and, in a local town, like up the street, they have a memorial cemetery. It's just amazing, how people, not just military people, but civilians honor those who have served.
You guys are going to make me cry. I don't think that it's one of the things I love about having these interviews, and I was so excited to get to talk to both of you together. I think that listening to your perspective it's always so unique, when we get to talk to people who have served in different capacities. And but you're going to make me cry, Latasha. I just think it's so it is different, and I don't think that if you have not had a chance to go and really see it, right? The first time I got to see it, it was after the cemetery had been laid with wreaths, right? Like it's hard to breathe. It's hard to recognize all the work and, all the things that have happened. I got to tell you, I think a lot of people probably don't realize this, but like there weren't a lot of veteran-owned companies who raised their hand and said they would do this. Why did you guys choose to do this interview today?
Yeah, I think it's important to spread the news, really. Just awareness that, first of all, we have a national cemetery here, and that the veterans that are laid to rest here are just as important and have done just as much as the more popular cemeteries. And again, it's really not leaving anyone behind, even after service. That's what's important to us.
And we all get an opportunity to be buried at Arlington Cemetery when you serve. When somebody decides, I want to be buried in my hometown or close to my hometown, they shouldn't be overlooked because they are not at Arlington. So,
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Latasha, I'm going to hire you to do all my interviews. Girl, you're giving me goosebumps. I think that it's the mission that Ohio Western Reserve Ladies has, right? Like no veteran buried alone. And it's part of why we're talking about this today, because right now, as it stands, the cemetery only covers about half of the cemetery with the wreaths that we do. So letting people know that Ohio Western Reserve even exists is so incredibly important. A lot of the veterans, in fact, I think the statistic is only like 24% of veterans are actually interned at a national cemetery. And a lot of that is because they don't know or they don't remember that they can actually be interned there. So, telling our young people that you can come and volunteer, right? Like you don't always have to make a donation. You can come and you can help lay wreaths, or you can come and pick up the old wreaths, right? And we're just happy to have you there and be a part of anything. I think, Patrick, to your point, maybe you don't even know you're going into the service or it's going to be a good fit for you, but you could just be a part of that and think of that for their service while they're there. Okay, so I want people to know where they can find you and a little bit more about your business. So where do people find information about Fast Signs and maybe even your veteran counterpart who has a Fast Signs also, but Fast Signs as a whole, and then Fast Signs to your location specifically?
Sure. Yeah, I touched on it a little bit at the beginning, but yeah, Fast Signs, you can, well, we're found on Tuscarora Street in Canton, so right across from Altman Hospital.
Right down from the Hall of Fame.
Yep, right down from the Hall of Fame.
Look at
And
you guys. All right. I like that. We were actually just there as a part of our veteran stand down. So yeah, we're actually out there quite often. So for those of you who saw that event on our social media, or we were a part of the veterans organizations out there. So very similar in that location. Okay, great.
And the Hall of Fame is one of our customers. Just by the way, we do their Hall of Fame parade every year.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. Okay, great. And where do they find you on website, social media,
Well,
that type of thing?
Yeah, if you Google Fast Signs Central Canton, we will pop up. And especially if you're in our area, local area there, we will certainly show up near the top.
Okay.
You can also go to our website, which is www.fastsigns.com/2316. So that's fastsigns.com/2316. And you'll find a website there. You can click on contact us or request a quote, and we can. Our team is amazing, by the way. They'll help you out.
Well, they have to be amazing when they're led by leaders like you guys, because I'm so fortunate to have you here. Really appreciate that. We will make sure that all of that contact information is below. So we'll tag you and make sure that everybody can find you. Like we've said in the past, you can always help a small business by just simply patronizing their social media pages, getting on their website, sharing their information, even if you don't live close to them. Phone a friend. Feel free to let other people know. You can get on and buy your wreaths. We'll make sure that all of that information is below. You can come volunteer on the 14th. Maybe meet these two beautiful souls and tell them that you saw them here. And I just want to tell you guys again how much I appreciate this. Apparently got a thing for crying on Fridays. Becky made me cry last Friday. Apparently I got a thing for crying on Fridays, but I just, there aren't a lot of people like you guys. And if somebody doesn't say that to you often enough, you're doing amazing things. And I really appreciate the fact that you got on here and told your story today. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Kat, and thanks for what you do for Wreaths Across America. So I encourage everyone to go there to donate, and we will be making a donation to you as well. So.
We appreciate that.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Thanks, guys. All right, everybody. We'll see you maybe next week with another veteran-owned business. And if there's anything that we can do to help serve the community, especially the veteran community, you know where to find us. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.